Hey there, true believers. Rain Kisaragi here with another Let's Unpack Kingdom Death Monster. But what is Kingdom Death Monster? Kingdom Death Monster is the brainchild of creator Adam Poots. It's basically what you would get if you took Gary Gygax, creator of Dungeons & Dragons, the mind behind the art design of the Aliens franchise, H.R. Giger, and the development team of From Software, set him down in a room and said, "Make me a tabletop." Kingdom Death is gloriously something or other, and beautifully tragic. Beautifully tragic and gloriously horrific. There we go. I'll get that down eventually. Anyway, last time we opened up the Flower Knight, not the shirt, the expansion, and it was cool. Now we're going to open up the next knight that I happen to have on hand, the Dung Beetle Knight. There's his insignia. It's poopy boy. So let's see how this goes. It promises to be hopefully not bad, but we need to cut things first. So let's go ahead and do that. Marshmellow's eating, so she may not be part of this video. I'm unsure yet. Let's just go ahead and peel that down that much. I'll worry about the rest of it later. And okay, just like last time, we have our bag of spruces. You'll get better pictures of everything individually on the side. Let's see. It looks like we have the knight and a big screaming ball, and we have lots of bits. Do we have? We may have armor survivors in here too. Actually, looking at it, it looks like we actually have 2 armor survivors here too. 4 maybe. Yeah, 4. There's human torso bits for four dudes, so that's cool. It means there's armor in this pack, a full set of armor. The beetle looks pretty fine. He's a 30M base. He's very small, but the ball was very big, so that's interesting. I have no opinion about how the model's going to be to build because I don't know yet. Now we're going to go ahead and pull this out, the booklet, the rules type booklet. It's about the same size as the Flower Knight. You can upgrade your thing. There's another tactics set of cards here. Calcified gear, what is that? You must encase and bury. It's an event. During the underground so event, okay. And bury the gear during the Black Harvest event to get the calcified gear. Flip it to the calcified side. After calcification, the normal side of this card can no longer be used. Okay, so we have double-sided gear. That's interesting. It explains parry, because that's an important mechanic. We learned that last time. The resin dung ball, that is big. That's a big old poop ball. All right. It can collide with survivors, monsters, and its collision rules. Okay, we'll get to those later. The ball does not block the beetle's line of sight. All right. You cannot, but will not move through it, be placed or end its movement on the ball unless it suffers knockback. Okay, so it can just sort of see around it and all that. Does knockback 5 on constant survivors. There's lots of rules for the poop ball and how that goes. Alright, that doesn't seem too bad. And then there's the Rumbling in the Dark event, the event that gives you this hunt. The art's very pretty. You'll get to see it bigger on that side. Stage left. More pretty art. I'll read this event in private. We don't need to do that now. And there's gore in his debut picture, so I can't show you that. I'm not going to show you the horrific head explosion. Hi, Marshmellow. She's done eating, I guess, or done for now. So she's just going to stand here in front of the, Hi kitten. What's up? You said to come along? Yeah? I should put the knife away. Well, oh, do not stand on that. That's important. Don't stand on it. I should put the knife away, though, while the kitten's up. Thought she'd be eating longer. She did not. Never as long as I want her to. It's fairly annoying. Alright, whatever. Double Knight Showdown. Spelunking of Death. Oh, it's an event, the Spelunking of Death. Okay, that's cool. Alright. There's boobs in this one. I can't show you this one either. Lung of Death event. It's a big old event. I can show you the event table though. That should be fine. There's no boobs on that. There's our event table. I'm not going to read this off, but you can take a look at it on the side and see the fun of events with Kingdom Death. Underground okay, this is the event where we get the calcified stuff. Okay, be embalmers. This is like a full-time job apparently, because you can't do anything else. For each embalmer, select one gear with the mineral keyword and one preserved caustic dung strange resource. Of course, there's got to be poop involved. And then you bury the gear, and you can unbury the gear to get the other stuff. Then the Black Harvest event. Okay, that's the... You can get stuff back out of it. That's cool. Ooh, this is pretty art. And there's no nudity or gore, so I can show you. Look at that. That's really pretty, isn't it? It's the beetle in like his natural repose or something. It's a secret meeting. Ooh, oh, there's a level 4 monster rule. That's cool. Level 4 monster, normally monsters can only be level 3. When you do legendary monster hunts, you can fight a level 4 version of that monster, but a lot of expansion monsters, and actually all the core monsters have it, but expansion monsters don't. This one has one. That's neat. And you get a custom deck. Alright, then we just have a blank page at the back. It's a good job, guys. I guess it just came down to they didn't have any more content for 2 pages. That's fine, though. That's fine. Okay, let's see what we got back here. Oh, settlement locations. Okay, let's open these real quick. Trying to do it without the knife. This kitten's still around. Yeah. Okay, I have to use the knife. I'm a big, strong man. I can't tear plastic. Plastic's too strong. Alright. We have the Wet Resin Crafter location. This is just all the stuff that you can make with this. That's cool. I don't know what any of this is yet, but I mean, it's cool. You can make the badge though. That's interesting. Guess you don't just get it this time, you have to make it. That's cool. It's alright. And we have our dividers, it looks like, for our gear and monster thing. Again, his screamy face crest is on that. That's cool. I like that they have the monster design on the dividers now. It makes it look very cool. And then I'm gonna guess it's like last time where the cards are buried in the packing peanuts. Yep, there's one deck. I feel them. Let's get the other deck out while we're at it. I assume it's in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. There it is. Is that all that's in there before I put this away? This is professional. I'm just going to peer down into the box. Yes, that is everything. It's just packing peanuts now. Put the plastic in there and I'll throw that away later. Alright, let's be very careful to not cut the cards as I do this. Okay, and this should be able to come off. Okay, I believe I've opened this one. Yeah, okay, that one's opened sufficiently now. Let's go ahead and open this now. These small cards, the gear cards. Again, trying very hard to not cut the cards. Okay, that's open, and the knife can go away. Like, for good now. I don't need this knife here at all anymore. It can go over there. Okay, let's look through the gear cards first, because that might go a little quicker to start. We have the DBK Errant Badge. Unique, add 1 armor to all locations. As for other showdown, draw a tactics card. It's not bad. It's pretty solid. Gives you extra armor, and you get your tactics. Okay. It's comparable to the Flower Knight badge. Now we have the Rainbow Wing Belt, which will be better off on the side. When you roll it, when any of your attack rolls are 1, you may re-roll them. It's pretty good. You need 2 red and all those other things, so it's hard to manage, but it's really worth it though. So that's cool. We have the Rubber Bone Harness, because that's how bones work. Once you showdown, you may convert all of your negative attribute tokens to positive tokens of the same type. That's amazing. What do you have to do to build that, though? Just out of curiosity. Underplate fungus, century fingernails. Guessing those are gear. Those are resources from here. Leather, as expected, and a vampiric artichoke. I guess that's from the Dark Harvest event. So it's not that hard to make this. Like, realistically, this isn't that hard to make. That's really good, though. We have the Scarab Circlet. We'll see it better on the side. Add an armor to all locations during the showdown. When survival is reduced to 0, gain a +1 strength token. Neat. Ideally, you shouldn't have your survival go down to 0, but at least this gives you something back for it. So that's fine. Largely. We have Seasoned Monster Meat. When you depart, gain 3 survival, and if you link the red, consume to gain 3 survival and 1 strength token. Limit once per showdown. So you can only you can only have lunch once. You can't have second breakfast, but you get strength tokens. Lots of strength tokens being thrown around in here. That's weird. We have the Beetle Bomb, and it is the Beetle Bomb with a capital The. It's unique. If adjacent to the monster, roll 1d10. On a 6+, the monster gains -1 evasion and -1 accuracy tokens once per showdown. Nice. Crippling the monster, always good. Always good to cripple the monster, because when they're crippled, they can't fight. And I'd appreciate, Kitten, if you'd stop trying to eat everything that I'm doing. That'd be pretty cool of you. No, you can't have packing peanut. I have to get this from her. Sorry. I'm a professional Let's Player, Ma. I unpack things on my channel for the YouTube. Okay, now that that's been put away, we have the Regenerating Blade. Oh, and it flips over to another thing, so we're going to cover that in a second. Regenerating Blade. During settlement phase, you may archive this to remove dismembered arm or leg injuries. It's real good. There's very few ways to actually fix dismembered injuries. This is like one of 3, I want to say, in the entire game, including this. That's really interesting. And you can flip it over to the Calcified Juggernaut Blade. I guess this is after you've fixed it. It's a grand weapon, obviously. 1 speed, as expected. 5+, which is quite... No, you can't eat these cards. These cards are expensive. You can't eat these cards. I know you want to because they smell funny, but you can't. 1 speed, as expected, 5+ accuracy, 9 strength. It's a big weapon, obviously. It's got slow, so you can only attack once with it. It's fine. And block 1. That's pretty unique. Lots of weapons don't have block. That's a shield keyword. Are you gonna be bad this video because you were so good last video? You were so good last video, and now you're gonna be so bad this video. I love her though. Something gets +1 strength for each token you have. That's token. So bleed tokens are gonna count. This weapon is massively strong. That's pretty cool. I like that weapon. It's very strong. Then we have the Century Greaves. I'll have the flip side as well. -1 movement, add an armor to all locations, and you can add, for linking the green and a blue, you can add +1 to Ripple Pattern. Don't know what that is. Roll results. I don't know what Ripple Pattern is. This may be good or may not be. Then we have the Calcified Greaves, which are all covered in duty. -1 movement, add 3 armor to all hit locations. That's insane. Link the green and the blue to add +2 to ripple pattern roll results. The greaves are really good. You could totally go like an armorless build just by grabbing these greaves. Oh, you're playing with the plastic. Okay. You're not going to start eating the plastic. I got to watch you about that. Now you have these Century shoulder pads. And they have a flip side as well. Add an armor to all locations. I sense a pattern here. A ripple pattern, if you will. Add 1 armor to all locations, and if you link the green and get a green ripple pattern, when you are attacked, roll d10 on a 10+, ignore 1 hit. That's good. This is a free, admittedly low chance prevent damage. That's really good. Then the calcified pads, once again, they're all poopy. Add 3 armor, and then the same thing for the ability. This is just really good. All this gear is just really good, and you don't really need that much to. The pads you can just make. You don't need to make anything hoops related. You can just do it. That's really quite good. The greaves you have to have Nightmare Corn, which I guess is from that Dark's Harvest event. Even then, it doesn't look like it's that bad. Oh, you need iron for the pads and greaves, though. That makes sense. Makes sense. Those are good. I like those. We have another Zanbato card. This is a card from the core game, so I'm not going to cover it. But on the flip side, we have the calcified Zanbato. The Zanbato, if you want me to pronounce things correctly. 1 speed compared to the 1 speed of normal one. It's a 5+ now. It was a 6+, so it's better in that regard. And it has 8 strength, where it had 6 strength before, so it's just universally much better. Slow and deadly, so you can only attack once, but whatever. And deadly, it lost its frail keyword, which means it's no longer easily breakable. That's good. And if you link the red and have a green, you get devastating 1, which means you do 1 extra wound whenever you wound. That's amazing. This weapon is amazing. Everyone should have one of these. Not everybody, but 1 person per party should have one of these. This is real good. And I have 3 copies of new Zanbatos that I can remove and replace my old copies with, because I have updated ones now. We have the Digging Claw, and there's a calcified version on the back. 1 speed, 4+ hits, and 5. It's a Qatar pickaxe. That's strange and useful. Paired, which means you can activate 2 weapons that have the paired ability. So if you were dual wielding these, you could attack with both, as opposed to only attacking once with the one. So that's actually a really good keyword. During Mineral Gathering Story event, you may reroll 1 of your D10. It's very good. And it's a pickaxe, so you can go ahead and do those events. Then there's the calcified one, which is, once again, it's actually gained a lot. It lost a lot of its bindings and got all dark. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Same stats, 1 speed, 4+ hits, 5 strength. Same there. But it gains sharp, so an extra D10 of strength on it. So it's an improvement. I could see these getting some use. See these guys getting some use. I have 4 copies, so I can have a couple people dual wielding these if I so chose to. I don't know why. Hi. Oh, there's all this plastic up here. Is that why you want to be up here? Huh? You can chew on all the plastic. That's why. You're really very predictable, kitten. You are. Please don't eat those. Ow. Ow. Don't bite. Don't chew on me either. Just because I'm not letting you chew on cards, don't chew on me. We have the hidden Crimson Jewel. It's a unique, irreplaceable. Once per game phase, you may reroll a D10. Neat. It's rare gear, so you got to work for it. But I mean, its effect's pretty good. We have the Trash Crown. It's my crown. 4-head armor. And for an action, you can reveal the next four hit location cards. Discard 3 that are not traps. Place any remaining cards on top of the deck in any order. I guess you can drag the trap to the top of the deck. Why would you want to do that? I don't understand. The trap is a bad card. I mean, you'll definitely know if it's there, but there's better ways to do that. That's silly. That's very silly. I don't know if I like the trash ground. But the calcified gear, all of it's really, really good. The gear in this expansion does look pretty neat. With the exception of the trash crown, I think all of this is pretty great. And actually, you could century shoulder pads and century greaves, and do an Acanthus tank build, an Acanthus Doctor tank build. I think I'll have to look into that later. That sounds silly. I want to do that. It sounds silly. All right. Let's look into the main deck of cards, the big old deck of cards. Because there's an armor set, we have an armor set card, the rolling armor. Add 2 to all locations when you have the set equipped. When you will be knocked down, instead suffer knockback 5, so you don't get knocked down, which is neat. And you can only do that once per round, but that's pretty neat. And you need to have the Sentry or Calcified Shoulder Pads, the Sentry Calcified Greaves, the Rubber Bone Harness, the Scarab Circlet, and the Rainbow Wing Belt. So all the gear from this pack, put it all on, it gives you the rolling armor. That's interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna ever actually use the rolling armor, because it doesn't look that great stats-wise. I mean, it would give you a crap ton of armor, though, because that's, what, 3 from both of those. That's 6 to all locations. That's 8 armor over. That's actually not that bad. I might use this, actually. Now that I think about it, I might use this. But it's cool. I like it. And then there's the Dung Beetle Knight basic action card. It's just a big old card of stats. His instinct, defensive spit salve. I'm not going to say that 10 times fast. If there are any, put any archived Century Carapace hit location cards back on top of the hit location deck. Monster flies back to its ball. Place it adjacent to the resin dung ball with the ball in its blind spot. Okay, so it just returns to where the ball is. And its basic attack is 3 speed, 3 plus accuracy, 4 damage, and then move the monster toward the ball. So he really likes hanging around this ball. That's what that tells me. He needs to be around the ball. Let's see, we got 3 fighting arts. One of them is secret. Let's go over that one first. Beetle Strength. I don't know how you get this. Once per showdown, you may spend a move, or an action rather, to shove any adjacent obstacle terrain. If you do, move the terrain directly away from you in a straight line until it counters a board edge or another obstacle terrain. Any monsters the terrain passes over suffer a wound. Any survivors it collides with suffer knockback 7. The display of strength is so exhausting it ages you. You are knocked down and gain 1 Hunty XP. That's silly. That's very silly. I could see how this could do something, but the +1 Hunty XP is actually just mitigatable. To be honest, you can just ignore that. There's ways to get around having to get Hunty XP, but that could be good or could be bad. Unsure. Then we have the Carapace of Will and Propulsion Drive. I'm not going to show you that. I'm not going to show you the Propulsion Drive up close because there is some gore on it, but we're going to get to that later. Carapace of Will, the start of the showdown, gains the Steadfast Survivor status card. Don't know what that is. When you are attacked, when you have +2 Steadfast tokens, ignore a hit and remove all of your Steadfast tokens. Very good. I like that. Put this on your tank. Ignore all the hits. Propulsion Drive, the start of the showdown, gain the Momentum card. When you attack, if you have 5 or more Momentum tokens, remove all of them and roll a d10. Gain that amount of luck and strength when attempting to wound the first hit location for this attack. That's good. That's very, very strong. Gaining all that luck is going to guarantee a critical wound, and gaining all that strength is going to guarantee a hit. It's going to guarantee a wound. So both of those are really solid. I'd be pretty happy with getting either of those on a character. Obviously, I would be happier getting it on like a character who's going to fight, but you know. We have 2 innovations. We have the Round Stone Training, and that is you can use an endeavor to train. Gain the Motion Sickness Disorder. That sucks. I don't know what that is yet. Gain crossarm block, gain tumble, and you have a serene moment, gain +3 insanity in either the carapace of will or propulsion drive fight, secret fighting art. Okay, that explains. They're not secret fighting arts though. They're just regular fighting arts. I think it's a mix. I think it's a miss. That's a mix. They messed that text up, I think. And subterranean agriculture. If a black harvest event is not on the is on the timeline, underground sow. Okay, so you can do the harvest event. If there is a black harvest event on the timeline, you may spend 1 preserved caustic dung to increase its rank by 1 to a maximum of 3. Limit once per summon phase. That's for that corn and stuff, I think. And that's how you get the wet resin crafter thing too. Okay, that's not too bad. I have a new terrain card. Rules for the resin dung ball. See expansion book for rules. Okay. Obstacle, impassable, indestructible. Cannot be destroyed. Got it. And you can use an action to push the dung ball to move it 1d5 spaces directly away from you. If you are not fighting the Dung Beetle Knight, this ball is empty, and you may move it up to 5 spaces. Okay. So you just shove the poo ball around. Okay. That's great. I don't want to shove the poo ball though. That's the problem. I don't want to shove the poo ball. And let's go ahead and look at Motion Sickness as one of our 2 disorder cards. Motion Sickness. Whenever you suffer knockback, you gain a bleed token. That's horrible. And Vermin Obsession. When there is a bug spot turntile on the showdown board, you are so overwhelmed that you are doomed. Okay, so it just makes you have to go look at the bugs before you can do anything else. That's annoying more than anything, but it's only if there is one. So those ones are always okay. The if there is, because if there's not one, then you're fine. It's whatever. So that's not too bad. Those are not. One of them's pretty bad. The other one's okay. Now let's go ahead and look at our 3 tactics cards. Let's go ahead and do block formation is the one I'm going to show you guys. Which is when the stars are standing in a square, they each ignore the first hit of a monster's attack. Nice. Definitely down for that. We have the attack pattern. At the start of the server's turn, you may declare that you are using an attack pattern and decide the order for starters to attack that turn. A survivor gains the following bonuses on their first attack as long as the order is followed and each survivor hits at least once. Okay, so you have to make sure you actually attack correctly in order. Second person gets +2 strength, third person gets +3, fourth person gets +4. It's not too bad. If any survivor attacks out of order or fails to hit on an attack, the attack pattern is over. Okay, so you can only do that at the start of a round, and if you mess it up, everybody messes it up. That's high stakes, but I can see how that's useful. Quad strike during the server's turn. If the servers servers and the monster are arranged in the diagram below, basically on each corner of the monster. If you may spend one survival to quad strike. If you do, each server adds 1d10 and rolls 1d10 and adds their strength bonus. If the total result is equal or higher to the monster's toughness, the monster is knocked down and suffers a wound. That's insanely useful. If you can roll well on 4 dice, which you should be able to do well in Kingdom Death, that's a knockdown, meaning he doesn't fight back for your turn, and a wound. That's really good. That's like, these tactics are really nice. I like them a lot more than the Beetle Knight, than the Flower Knight rather. Oh wow, there's so many cards. There's so many cards in his deck. Okay, those are the hit locations. This is his AI deck. This is huge. What are you doing, Beetle Knight? What are you even beginning to do with your life here? Apparently all the things. Let's see, that's a special card. We'll take a look at that. My god, he has so many... Okay, that's a legendary card. That's another legendary. And a bunch of... Okay, so his actual deck is only like this big. That's substantially better. That's still a very large deck, but that's substantially more manageable. Let's take a look at his legendary cards. Let's look at the Rainbow Beetle, because I like how that looks. It's a pretty card. When this comes into play, all non-blind survivors are knocked down. When a survivor attacks the monster on a perfect hit, they lose 1 survival and suffer star monster level brain damage unless they are blind. All right, that's frustrating. Scarab of Life increases the value of star by 1, so that's nice. It's not. It's very bad. When it comes to the play, monster heals star wounds and then performs a basic action. That's not good. He heals himself and then hits you. Then there's Sword Master. When it comes to play, the monster gains +1 speed token, perform basic action. Replace the monster's basic action with this, which is a 3 speed, 2+ accuracy, 6 damage. That's horrible. And then they take bleed 1. So you just get screwed. The Beetle's so strong with his sword that he apparently has. You're just screwed. Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean. And then we have his trait, Separation Anxiety. When the monster is not adjacent to the resin dung ball, it is separated and gains green X. If an AI or location card has green X, only apply those actions, effects, or special rules if the monster is separated. Otherwise, ignore them. Okay, so he does other things if he's away from his ball. So I was kind of right with saying he wants me to burn his ball. Okay, and then for example, for an example of that green X, do not perform this card. Instead, perform ground pound, then basic action. Okay, so you may mitigate something terrible in favor of something marginally not as terrible. Okay, and then we have his hit location deck. It is yay big. It is a very, very big deck. Let's take a look at the Century Carapace, because that's unique for him, I feel. This is worth taking a look at. +6 toughness to win this location. Gain 2d10 strength when attempting to wound this with a club, shield, or pickaxe. So something to smash it. That makes sense. Failure. The reaction. You can't cancel the reaction of the failure. That's not great. You feel hopeless. Was survival if it's level 3 or above burrow. I don't know what burrow is. Did I not take a look at that card? I may not have noticed that card. Hold on. If he's got other traits, I want to take a look at them. Looking through all the cards. Okay, he doesn't have that. Did I really just not get that? Or am I just being a Philistine and not seeing it? Hold on, is burrow his instinct? No, it's not. Okay. I feel less bad then. Perform burrow. I don't know what burrow is, though. I don't know what burrow is. We'll have to get to that. When you wound it, instead of wounding the monster, archive this card and gain a survival. If you attack with a pickaxe, gain additional 3 survival, and then he burrows after that. We have Swarm of Botflies. That's unique. Well, let's take a look at this too. Swarm of Botflies gushes out from under the Dung Beetle's armor. Roll a d10 and add your courage. If the result is greater than star +5, which is monster level +5, you boldly ignore the flies and continue the attack. Otherwise, you suffer star brain damage and are knocked down. Okay, so the flies, not the flies. That would be disgusting, though, so I understand. That's gross. Then we have his trap, which is Slam Dunk, Defunk being optional. Reshuffle with that location deck. All survivors are doomed. Full move directly towards the attacker. If the monster is adjacent to the attacker, it picks them up and leaps high into the air. It lands to the resin dung ball and slams the attacker inside. Place a monster in any space adjacent to the ball. The attacker suffers 5 damage to star hit locations. Jesus H, man, that is That is so rough. That's so rough. 5 you just take damage. You can't avoid that. You just get hurt. Oh my god. And you gain the Smell World Survivor status card. Alright. And I just realized I have these other cards from his attack deck sitting off to the side. And I guarantee, yeah, Burrow's right in there. Way to go, Rain. Stepping back to the monster's attack deck very briefly. Baller spins the ball around itself with tremendous force in the red zone, which are just all around it. You suffer collision, so it knocks you away. Burrow, the monster, dives underground. Select a random survivor. Unless they spend 4 survival, they suffer one random severe body injury, and the ruptured muscles severe arm injury. My god. Then place the monster on the survivor, avoiding the resin dung ball. That's so rough. That's so rough. We have Dung Milk, which is disgusting. I'm not going to show you this card. It's gross. It has vomit. When you gain this, you are knocked down, suffer stardust to your body that ignores armor. Gain -1 evasion and -1 accuracy. While you have Dung Milk, you are stinky. I mean, yeah, probably. More Dung Milk cards. I don't need to read those. We have Ground Pound. Monster summons the ground precisely altering its network of prepared tunnels. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer bash, and it creates a natural ramp. Move the ball D10 spaces toward the monster. On collision, any survivors suffer 5 damage to star hit location. Jesus with you and the damage. Jesus with you and the damage. My god, he's so tough. Heavy load. When the resin dung ball causes the survivor, they lose 1 survival. That's very frustrating. Then we have momentum, which is the survivor status card for that other attack thing we saw. Are you cuddling now? Yeah, you are. You're cuddling now. No. She's a good girl. She is. She tries. When you move 4 or more spaces from movement or knockback without passing over the same space twice, gain +1 momentum. When you tumble successfully, gain momentum. When you are knocked down, lose all your momentum. Makes sense. Gotta go fast and all that. Smell World. This is horrible. When you gain this, remove your survivor from the board and place them on this card. At the start of your act, roll a d10. On a result of 8+, you escape. Otherwise, gain a bleeding token. That's not good. Survivor next adjacent to the ball may spend his action. If they do, select 1 survivor to escape, and you get to pull yourself out of the ball, and you gain the Dung Milk card. Gross. Just gross. Steadfast. During your act, you may spend a movement to gain a steadfast token. Limit once per round. When you are knocked down, lose all your steadfast. Okay, so that's how that all works. And this is just another attack card that was lost at the back of the deck for no real reason. Let's put that back in there. This monster is oppressive. Not gonna lie, guys. This thing's gonna just destroy your soul, and then slam you into a ball full of poop. Sucks. All right, what do we got? I'm actually terrified to read this one, so let's go ahead and read this one. Superfood. Oh no. You find a curious stone face. It is ringed with overgrown dedicanthus plants. You may push the leaves aside and investigate. If you do, roll a d10. If you do not investigate, roll a regular event instead. On a 1 to 3, you find a cleaned stone face, nothing more. At the start of the showdown, put the Rainbow Beetle AI card into play. That's not good. In the face's nostril, you find some leftover shimmering goo. You secretly consume it. Ugh. And gain +1 permanent speed. At the start of the showdown, the monster gains +1 speed token. That's not good. You part the dry leaves and gain 1 Rainbow Droppings Phoenix resource. You find poop in the poop ball that you find chasing the poop monster. Not surprised by this. nor should you be. Then we have his resource deck. Let's take a look at the Beetle Horn, because that looks neat. It actually has stuff on it. The Horn Ceremony, that sounds really not good. Roll it's Endeavor, and you roll a d10. 1 to 4, your brain is punctured and you die. That's about what I'd expect. 5+ brain stimulation. Gain the benefits of age 1 and age 2 without gaining Hunty XP. Brain stimulation ignores the once-in-a-lifetime rule on the age story event. That's actually not that bad, because age 1 and age 2 you can gain fighting arts, you can gain permanent stats, so you can gain a lot of benefits from doing that, but just don't roll low or else you will die immediately because you jammed a horn into your head, you absolute idiot. Then we have strange resources as well. The preserved caustic dung. It's 5 of these. It's sort of poop. You. The live cultures in this exotic mixture of matured dung have been preserved with a delicate, airtight jelly casing. Ew! Just all of that was horrible. Oh, and there's something else in here called Skell. I don't even know if I want to read this. As the monster ages, the sticky and corrosive material builds between the thin layers of its scarab shells. It breaks down fecal product, preventing the knight's joints from locking up. During Black Harvest, a restorer can make excellent use of a Skrell, using it to perfect the final step of the calcification process. Okay. I don't know if I want to get that, though. That sounds really gross. All of this sounds really gross, actually. There's all this poop. It's the expansion of duty. That said, though, I'm actually kind of down with this. This monster seems really hard, but I can use that Swordmaster card for my own unique purposes after a while. Custom level 4 monsters. Yeah. But he seems really hard. What year does he come in, actually? That's something I should have looked at to better gauge his power level. What year do you enter, Mr. Beetle Knight? Year 8. Okay, so around when the Phoenix does. So he's a fairly hard monster. That's to be expected then. I'm no longer surprised by his difficulty. But that was the Dung Beetle Knight expansion. I'm happy I got this. I think he's a very silly monster. There's lots of duty, like everywhere. Oh god, the duty. But yeah, he's a monster. He throws his poop ball around and he slams people into it. Good times. So that was this one. I lean toward liking this. I like the Century gear. That's really good. He looks really hard. Again, I'm gonna say it for the 100th time. And yeah, looking forward to dying against him, because that's what's going to happen. It's not even going to give myself a chance on this one. I'm going to be killed by this monster. But hope you guys have fun with this, and I will see you in the next Unpack or the next Let's Play video. I don't know yet. Whichever one you guys go look at, I suppose. So, till then. Okay? Out.